This is one last thing I wanted to show just before we open the roof, and that is the cameras. I use 3 of them in the observatory, and those are really critical so that I can see um, when the roof is opening and closing. If I need to look at the telescope position during the session. A couple of things. One is you can see that the telescopes are parked uh, flat for sure. That's one of the reasons why I really prefer to kind of look at everything as I'm doing it rather than relying on the software to park the telescopes and close the roof. You can do all kinds of stuff with these. You can put scope sensors, and your roof controller can sense that, and all kinds of things like that. And some people are okay with that, but generally because of this, I kind of do everything like I would be doing it if I was there, only I'm not there. So it just adds a little more of a comfort layer in terms of your equipment. I have the night vision function on, and all of the cameras are accessed actually through my iPhone. I use the app on there. This is you can do it through the computer, and I want to do this just to demonstrate before we open the roof. Um, but I typically will um, look at the telescopes, access one of the cameras before opening the roof, and that's what you see here. The 16-inch scope is on the left. The attack scope is on the right, which we're not going to be using tonight. So that's kind of what we're looking at, and next thing we're going to do is going to be opening the roof. So we'll be doing that in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open the roof on the laptop um, desktop right now, and we use the program Skyroof, so I'm going to open that. And basically, this is pretty streamlined. You have all these options, and I haven't implemented any of these. Basically, all I need to do, or I'm asking it to do, is to open and close the roof. So when you first open it, you see that it does confirm that the roof is currently closed. It is getting feedback from the system and the roof sensors, so we know we're good there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and we'll switch back to Observatory 1 so you can see that in process. I'm actually looking at it from a different camera. I have a camera that's mounted on the tower, the same one that the Boltwood is on, so I can actually look at it from above. I find that to be useful to make sure that it stops where it's supposed to. So let's go ahead and open the roof. You click on open, and you can see that it says the roof is opening here. We're going to go to Observatory 1, and here you see the roof opening. And I'm watching it also on my smartphone here, and everything looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. And once it stops, and it looks like it has stopped, we'll go back to Observatory 2, and you see how it says roof is open, and the close button is active. So we know that everything is working with respect to the roof control, and I'm just going to minimize this, and we're pretty much done with Observatory 2, although I do leave it accessible during the session. So we're going to go here. I'm going to minimize the screen for now because we're we're just setting things up. So so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and now that the roof is open, we're going to I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this screenshot here. What we're going to do is we're going to open the we're going to turn on the power to our devices. So how we do that is through what's known as a web switch, and that is shown here. And I have 3 of them, and they all have a IP address. And basically what you do is you get into your network and you enter the address of the device, and it brings you to this page here. And what this shows you is all the devices that we have hooked up. And what the web switch is basically a power strip that you plug your devices into, and because it's connected to your network, and you're able to access it through this web interface, it enables you to turn on and off your equipment. It's actually pretty simple. So you can see here I have 8 devices connected, and we are going to only be using 1 through 4, which are the mount, the camera, USB hub, and the telescope control and focuser on the Pier 1 equipment. So we're not going to turn these lower 4 on. Those are the ones that are associated with Pier 2. So we're going to leave those off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That'll take a minute or 2, and we will be back shortly.